Hey Lou,
Hmm.
did you watch Justice League?
Yeah.
Did you like it?
Kinda.
Really? Because I thought it sucked.
It did.
Oh, sorry.
Hi guys, I'm back. I know it's been a freaking long ass time, but in reality I have no excuse for it. Diana's probably gonna pop up. Yeah. Anyways, so I was planning to do this for a while since Justice League came out, but I've been delayed. I have no excuse. Okay. But anyways, the reason I'm in this particular place is because I'm not home right now. I'm on vacation with my familia into Vegas, even though I don't really do anything because I'm 20, so yeah. Diana can't do anything either. She's only 13. Okay, go. I'm not here to point fingers, except at Warner Brothers, because they're the ones that deserve it. Okay? Because they're the ones that oversee all these movies. They're the ones that see these movies and say, oh yeah, this is fine. Somebody saw Suicide Squad and said, yes, let's put this in theaters. But the biggest problem I think with Warner Brothers is that they look at every film after it's done, the first cut, and they say, oh, it's awesome, but I'd like to make a few changes. I mean, the fact of the matter is that whenever there's an extended cut of these films, like, they're better. They're better because everything has to fall into a certain place. But Warner Brothers looks at it and says, oh, the movie's too long, or whatever reason they could have. It doesn't make any sense why they should cut a movie like that when when some parts are so essential and they just get rid of it. The biggest problem was that you were trying to get two directors, Zack Snyder, who's done movies like Watchmen and 300, and Joss Whedon, the guy who did the first, Avengers, and he also did the second, but he wasn't really too happy about the second one. Now, when you try to combine these two, it's almost impossible that you're going to get one single film. You're trying to watch two films in one. So most of the parts you knew were Whedon. Like, all the parts where Batman was suddenly a jokester, that's Whedon. All the parts that were unnecessarily, like, either cringe or, like, you didn't understand was Whedon. I mean, yeah, Whedon knows what he's doing. Whedon's experienced. He's in Cabin in the Woods. He did Buffy the Vampire Slayer. He has a lot of canceled shows, I noticed about that. But he is a great, director. But the fact of the matter is, Zack Snyder already had his vision for the film. And Joss saw it and said, okay, guys, but let's make it funny. I can see it, though. I can see it. All right, guys, you have a great film. Justice League looks awesome, but let's make everybody funny. We're going to make Batman funny, and we're going to give a crappy CGI jaw to Superman, and fuck Steppenwolf. DC Films has been messing this up since they started it, except with General Zod. Okay? The villains. The villains are essential. One of the best things about DC are the villains. You got Black Manta, you got Joker, you got a whole list of them that just goes on and on. I mean, I was mostly going to name Batman villains because they're the best ones. But then, you got Darkseid, you got Doomsday, you got Lex, you have Ares, you have Cersei, you got Cheetah. You got all these great villains, and they give Jesse Eisenberg Lex Luthor, and Steppenwolf looked like a PlayStation 2 character. I mean, really, at the end of the movie, nobody even cared about who Steppenwolf was, because there was nothing for him that even established him as a character. He was just kind of there. And then even the whole movie, all you knew about Steppenwolf was that he was trying to get the boxes. This pissed me off when I first heard Kevin Smith say this. I love Kevin Smith, that man is a god, so whenever he says something, I listen. I love Kevin Smith. So when he said that particular scene with Steppenwolf trying to turn Superman, and then there's like the scene with Darkseid, like that would have been essential to the movie, because you know who Steppenwolf. No, you don't know who Steppenwolf is. I don't know why I said that. You don't know who Steppenwolf is. You don't know where he comes from. You don't know why he's after all these boxes. And he says for Darkseid for one part of the movie. As much as I wanted to like the fact that he said for Darkseid, there was nothing else but that. So the whole audience was just there. They didn't even know, to ask the question who Darkseid is, because he said it once. So people weren't like, oh, who's Darkseid? Oh, Darkseid? Who's that? Like, you didn't know that it was his freaking nephew that's his boss, that's a dictator of an alien planet known as Apocalypse? Nobody cared. Why? Why did you're gonna make Batman do jokes? Are you serious? Where he was like, oh, something is definitely bleeding, and when he asked Aquaman, do you talk to fish? It's like, come on, the world's greatest detective is gonna ask Aquaman that stupid ass question, and then, oh, something is bleeding. That's just cringe. I think the number one thing that everyone's kind of complaining about, it's become more of a meme than a complaint. Superman's this. Okay? Everyone, if you don't know, Henry Cavill was under contract to have this mustache beard combo. It was more of a fuzz and a beard. You know, the pathetic one that I have. Anyway, so he was under contract for the Mission Impossible movie to not shave off that beard. When Joss saw the movie, he said, let's do reshoots. He only had 10 days for reshoots, and all the money was spent. So that's why the CGI looked shitty as hell, and that's why it looked like he had a clip-on jaw. I mean, whoever didn't notice that, like, good for you, but, like, we all did. There was so many problems with Superman. The way he was brought back, really? And one of the cinematographers for Justice League confirmed the black suit. And, oh, that hit me in the heart, dude. Because I saw the Death of Superman Lives, what happened, like. And that got me hyped for a Death of Superman movie. And the way Batman vs. Superman went, I thought that's exactly what we're going to get. No, he came back because Flash ran super fast and touched a box. I very much like the Superman versus the Justice League part, especially when Flash is, like, right behind him. And it's like Superman's just looking at him like that's me and my family when I'm about to get the last slice of pizza and they're like, where the fuck are you going? I mean, in order to know why Steppenwolf was awesome, they should have just kept that scene where Darkseid finishes him instead of the Parademons. Oh, and there was that family in that country that the Parademons were taking over. What the hell was that? Like, no, I'm seriously asking, what the fuck was that? There was a family in one house. There was one house and the other houses that we saw around the town. And apparently they're the only ones living in that entire area. And then the Parademons are only attacking that particular house. Like, okay, I get that, but maybe you should have had a scene where we saw somebody else. These aren't the only people living here. I thought Flash was great. I thought Flash was awesome. He did a great job. And I really think they should have left the jokes to Flash. And then, you know, the Aquaman sitting on the lasso scene, that was pretty cool. I liked Aquaman a lot in this movie, like the loner, kind of go with the flow, kind of rock star kind of thing. Like, that's Jason Momoa's thing. So I'm sure that's what they were, you know, intending for when they hired Jason Momoa as Aquaman. And the air bubble scene was, oh, Jesus. What? Maybe Joss Whedon doesn't know what an Atlantean is. You see, an Atlantean lives underwater. And so every time it needs to communicate, do you really think that they have to just make an air bubble in the middle of the ocean? No. Okay? They have a language, but also they can speak underwater because they're Aquaman and man. And the backslash from that was, whoa, because everyone was going to be like, oh, this sucks. Oh, they're going to have this in the Aquaman movie? This is going to be so bad. But I'm glad that James Wan, I'm not sure how you say his last name, went to Twitter and he said, don't worry, there will not be any air bubbles in Aquaman. And I was like, thank you. Superman coming back and then just taking on Steppenwolf like he was nothing, it doesn't really further the fact that this is the Justice League. Because the Justice League are supposed to band together when there's like a catastrophic enemy that they can't take on alone. But when Superman came back, Steppenwolf was nothing, okay? Like, he had a chance with, you know, Wonder Woman. He had a chance with Aquaman. Like, but when Superman came in, he was getting his ass whooped. Which is, like, really, really sad. Because it's like, okay, so the Justice League couldn't take on Steppenwolf. Why didn't Superman just take on Steppenwolf? I know what you're thinking. Lewis, if you have this much criticism, why do you like the movie? That's an excellent question. No, really, it's an excellent question. I never said I was going to answer. Nah, I'm just kidding, guys. Of course I'm going to tell you. But the reason I like the movie, I know it's because I'm a little biased because I'm a DC fan when it comes to comics and stuff. But I haven't been a fan of DC films because of how they've gone. I loved Wonder Woman. But, you know, Suicide Squad, Batman vs. Superman, it could be better. You see, when you see a movie and the more you think about it to yourself, you're like, wow, that was bad. Even though you walked out saying, that was good. I still like it only because I liked what they did with Aquaman. I didn't particularly like Batman in this movie. I loved Wonder Woman in this movie. I loved The Flash, Cyborg. And they could have done Superman just a little more justice. I like the movie. I like the characters, most of them. But the only reason, I mean, I liked Soup's dialogue and like him, but if they just got rid of that Superman thing, why didn't they just let him have the beard? They could have spent less money putting the beard on Superman instead of trying to take away the whole equation and porn mustache. Even I had to admit that doesn't look good on Henry. But what I liked is the characters. I liked the parademons. I liked like most of the film because I understood it. I liked the Amazon scene when they were running away from Steppenwolf. And I also liked the Great War scene with the Green Lantern. I mean, who didn't like that scene? And then Deathstroke coming out at the end with Lex Luthor. That's pretty cool. I would have, see, this kind of takes away from the intention of Darkseid being the second villain. So I like that. So the Legion of Doom is probably going to be our second villain. But I have some notes for the second one. Keep the Flash. Give me Cyborg's real armor. Keep Aquaman. I like him. Even if one of the complaints was like, Aquaman's in jeans. So what? That's cool. What's wrong with jeans? You don't wear jeans? But, and Wonder Woman, perfect, as always. Gal Gadot is amazing. Don't make Ben Affleck funny. And if Henry Cavill has a beard for Superman, keep it. Because when Superman came back, he had a beard. Okay? That would have been awesome. I'm going to put the tags, usernames for both of my Instagrams now. I have one dedicated to the YouTube page and dedicated to my nerdiness and my fandom. And my next one, my other one, the YouTube account Instagram for my nerdy side for the comic night is comic_night. And for my other account, that's my main account for my acting and my directing, is going to be called director_Z. Anyway, this is the Comic Night signing off. And thank you guys for watching. I'm going to have my Last Jedi review at least tomorrow. And I'll have it up. I'll have this one up tomorrow too. And thank you guys for watching and keep on reading, you nerds.